Sekhmet, the lioness, goddess of destruction and healing. In the heart of ancient Egypt's mythological tapestry, there exists a goddess both revered and feared. Sekhmet, the lion-headed embodiment of divine wrath and scorching desert fire. Her story begins in the golden age of the gods, when the world was young, and Ra, the sun god, ruled over all creation. Ra was the supreme deity, the eye that watched over Egypt from the sky. But as time passed, humans began to forget the gods. They disrespected the order of Ma'at, the cosmic balance, and turned their backs on the laws laid down by the divine. Enraged by humanity's arrogance and rebellion, Ra decided that punishment was necessary. But not just any punishment. He needed a force powerful enough to bring fear, destruction, and cleansing. So Ra tore out his divine eye, his essence of fury and justice, and from it was born Sekhmet, the goddess of war, plague, and vengeance. Sekhmet was no ordinary deity. She appeared as a tall, imposing figure with the face of a lioness and the body of a woman. Her breath was said to create the hot desert winds, and her eyes burned like the midday sun. Where she walked, the ground scorched. Where she roared, enemies fled or perished. Ra unleashed Sekhmet upon mankind to restore order, but she went far beyond what even he expected. The rain of blood Sekhmet tore through villages, devouring those who defied the gods. Her hunger for justice transformed into an insatiable lust for blood. Day after day, she slaughtered without mercy, her fur matted with red, her claws soaked in vengeance. The Nile ran dark, the land grew silent, and even the priests began to tremble. Ra looked down upon his creation and began to feel fear, not for himself, but for the survival of all life. Mankind had been punished, but now extinction loomed. Yet Sekhmet would not stop. She was locked in a divine fury, blinded by her role as the enforcer of divine will. The trick that saved the world, desperate to end the carnage, Ra called upon his most loyal priests and devised a brilliant ruse. They brewed thousands of jars of beer and mixed them with red ochre and pomegranate juice, turning the liquid the color of blood. Under the cover of night, they poured the beer across the fields where Sekhmet would walk. When dawn came, Sekhmet saw the blood pooled across the earth. Driven by her savage thirst, she drank deeply, thinking it was the remains of her enemies. Jar after jar she drank, until her senses dulled and her rage faded. Drunk, disoriented, and no longer filled with bloodlust, she collapsed and slept for 3 days and nights. When she awoke, her mind was calm, her fury forgotten. She looked upon the world with new eyes, not as a battlefield, but as a place worth healing, from warrior to healer. Thus, Sekhmet was transformed. Though she remained a goddess of war and destruction, she also became a protector, a healer, and a bringer of balance. She was invoked in temples to ward off disease and protect against plagues. Physicians and magicians called upon her to cure the sick, even as soldiers prayed to her before battle. Some myths say that after her rage subsided, she became Bastet, the gentle cat goddess, representing pleasure, home, and harmony. Others maintain that Bastet and Sekhmet were sisters, two sides of the same divine force, one fierce, one gentle. Sekhmet's duality reflects the Egyptian worldview that destruction and creation are two sides of the same coin. Just as the Nile floods and recedes to give life, so too must chaos make way for order. Worship and legacy. Sekhmet's cult was one of the most powerful in ancient Egypt. In the city of Memphis, she was worshipped alongside Ptah, the creator god, and Nefertem, god of healing and beauty, forming a divine triad of creation, destruction, and restoration. Her creation story, where she worshipped a god destruction and restoration. Her statue